that position. And when you get there, you can take a couple of sighs. And as you take a couple of sighs, just focus on letting go of tension. Noticing all the places where you're making contact with the floor. And if you're using a blanket or anything, you could notice the contact with the blanket. Or if you've got your arms resting on your body, you might notice that as well. And as you begin to drop in to your body, make any adjustments in your position that might make you feel more comfortable. And just remember that, throughout the practice, while I might be giving you instructions, you're always welcome to do what feels right for your own body. So you don't have to worry about following along in time or doing just what I'm saying. Just really focus on getting to know your own body and being present in the moment. As you're ready to, you might begin to breathe a little bit wider on your inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, you could blow out through your lips slowly. Trying to get all the air out. You might even feel that your abdominals pull back at the end of your exhale. And then repeat that a couple of times. So really wide inhale, where the rib cage is expanding three-dimensionally, and a long exhale. And then as you're ready to, you could just go back to a natural breath, or you could use Ujjayi breathing through your nose where you can hear the sound, or any kind of breath that seems to serve you. And we'll begin moving a little bit by rocking the pelvis. So you can let your arms relax at your sides, and as you inhale, you could rock your pelvis forward so you've got some more space between the low back and the floor. And as you exhale, pressing the low back down to the floor and repeating. So you're just rocking here, your own timing. And notice how this feels through your low back as well as your hips and pelvis. Good, a couple more. And then just coming into the center in a neutral position. Let's widen the feet a little bit wider, like as wide as a yoga mat, and spread your arms out to a T, and gently begin to let the knees rock side to side gently. For some of you, they may come all the way down toward the floor, and for some of you, it might be a smaller movement. You could let your head rock too if you want to. No particular time to breathe, just noticing that you are breathing. Good, and now let's come back up to the center here. And from here, let's straighten out the right leg on the ground, and the left knee will stay bent. Okay. We're going to gently press into the left foot and start to lift the left hip off the floor, and then let it come back down. So it's a very small movement, and it's like if you had pockets on the back of your pants, it would be like you're lifting that left pocket off the floor or getting light on it and then letting it fall back down. If you want to make that movement a little bit bigger, you might start to press into the foot a little more. The left heel might even come up and your belly would start to face the right, and then you let it rock back down. So this is just a rhythmic movement, another one of those Feldenkrais type movements. I think we did a couple of those last week too. You might even, if you want to go a little further, you might keep going until you bring the left arm across. So it's like you're rolling onto your side and then come back, right? So it's the beginning of a rollover movement. And back down. And try to make the movement as easy as possible. Good. And then when you come back to the center, just pause and let's bend both knees again. Follow your breath in and out, noticing how you feel. And then let's straighten out that left leg on the floor. So just switching sides. And now we'll do the same thing. You're gonna press into the right foot, the right pocket or imaginary pocket comes off the floor and then rocks back down. You can keep the movement small or you can progressively start to make it a little bit bigger. Noticing how this feels. So we're playing around with the movement in the pelvis and around your sacrum. You might even start to lift the right heel off the floor, going a little further, or you might even start to roll onto that side and then back. Let's do a couple more. Good, and when you come back to the center, bend both knees again. Follow your breath in and follow your breath out. Let's inhale to reach your arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, bring the right knee in and catch it with your hands. So let's stay here, inhale. You can either keep the left leg bent or you could straighten it on the floor. Good. Now using your right hand, you could begin to make circles with that right hip and knee. Noticing how it feels. It's almost like you're drawing a big circle on the ceiling with your knee. And then reverse directions. Good, and coming back to the center, you can place that right foot back on the floor. And then as you take an inhale, stretching arms overhead again. Exhale, left knee comes in, catching it with your hands. You can either keep the right leg bent or you can straighten it out on the floor. Take a breath there, noticing how you feel. And then as you're ready to, you could begin to make circles using your left hand, like you're drawing a circle on your ceiling or the sky. And continue to breathe. Good, and then just reversing those circles. All right, coming back to the center, let's release the left foot to the floor. Now you might want your strap for this next one. You don't have to, you could just use your hands too. I'll show you what we're doing. We're gonna inhale, stretch arms overhead. Exhale to bring the right leg in. Now, you can, if it feels okay, you can hold behind the leg with your hands and then inhale, stretch the leg up and exhale to bend it again. Another option would be to take your strap, or I'm just showing it with the blanket here, and put that around the foot so it's like you're extending the arms, and use that to begin to straighten and bend any amount. Some of you might be straightening all the way, and some of you might be going part way. Try to relax your jaw and your face if you can. And if you want to, you could leave that leg straight or straight-ish, or you could keep moving. Good. Wherever you decide to be, just breathing in, and then long breath out. Let's take 2 more after this breath. Good, and then slowly releasing, and release. If you're using a strap, just put it to the side, and let's all straighten both legs out on the floor, is noticing the difference in sensation in the 2 sides. Feeling your breath go in and out. And just noticing how you feel today as far as your mind, noticing how you're talking to yourself. And let's bring an intention to our practice. So how do you want to feel as a result of your yoga practice today? And whatever you come up with there, let that guide how you proceed through your movements and your breath. Okay, now when you're ready to, you can bend both knees, placing feet on the floor, and take an inhale to reach arms overhead, and exhale to bring your left knee in and catch it. So you can hold behind that leg with your hands, or you could put your strap over the bottom of your foot, or you could use a blanket like I was doing, and just begin to straighten and bend the leg a few times, gently noticing how that feels. Then if you want to, you could leave that leg up there towards straight or straight-ish. Trying to relax through your jaw and your face, your shoulders. Taking a few breaths, big wide inhales and long exhales. And then when you're ready to, let's bend the knee, place the foot on the floor, and straighten out both legs. Notice the sensations you're feeling now. Good. All right, so now we're going to be coming into a supported bridge in a moment. So that's where we'll use a yoga block. And if you don't have a yoga block, you could use your foam roller for this if it works for you. You could use, if you have one of these big squishy balls, you could use one of these. You could also use a rolled up blanket, okay? So any of those options will work. What we're gonna do is we're gonna press into our feet and lift the hips off the floor and slide your prop underneath your butt. And then hopefully just settle the hips onto it. Now, if this feels too high, like whatever you've chosen is too much, feel free to come out of it or fold or roll up a blanket instead and put that under. Okay, if you're okay here, what we're gonna do is just start to rock a little bit, almost like you're doing windshield wipers, but not going as far. So you're just feeling that your sacrum, that bone in between the 2 halves of your pelvis there, is rolling across your prop. It's like you're massaging that area with your prop. And keep breathing as you do it. can come back to the center if you want. Let's take a breath in. You might even have your hands on your belly. And a breath out. Good, and again. All right. When you're ready to, you can press into your feet to lift slightly off your prop and slide it out of the way, rolling down back to the floor. Good. Now from here, you might like to do windshield wipers again, or you might like to bring both knees in towards your belly and just gently make some circles on your low back. There you go. Keep your breath going. You might rock side to side or continue with the circles. And then when you're ready to, you can either put your feet on the floor and roll to your side to push up to a seat, or some people might like to curl into a ball and rock yourself up to a seat. Okay, so either one is fine. And then we're gonna sit with our legs out in front of us for a moment. So some people might like to sit with their back against a piece of furniture or a wall like this, all right? You could also choose to sit up on a blanket or a pillow, all right? So that's an option too. Anywhere where you can sit where it's not a big strain, because we're not trying to get a huge stretch here. And we're just gonna take a hold of your right kneecap gently. And what I'm doing is I've got my thumb on the top edge of the kneecap and my fingers on the bottom edge, and I'm just gently trying to relax my thigh and move my kneecap around a little bit. So this only works if your thigh is able to relax. So if that means that you have to put a pillow underneath your legs to help that happen, something to help your legs relax. And then you can also try to move your kneecap side to side. So I've got my thumb on the inner edge of my kneecap and my fingers on the outer edge, and I'm just moving it back and forth a little bit. You can massage all around your knee. Good. And then let's do the other side, okay? So first, top edge and bottom edge. And some people can't get their kneecaps to move. It might be just because you have chronic tension in your quadriceps. It's hard to do it if your legs aren't straight too, so if you aren't able to get your legs straight, that might be happening. Okay, so that's not unusual. And then also, now let's go to move it side to side. So I just took the fingers side to side, and then you can massage around it. You can massage both knees or just one. Keep breathing. Good. All right, now from here, let's bend the right knee and place the foot on the floor. Now, a couple of options. You could bring it in close, right? You could also choose to cross it over to the other side, right? So you can just see what feels better to you. I'm gonna try to sit up tall. If you're against a wall, you'll wanna move away because we're gonna twist, okay? I'm gonna inhale, sit up tall, and then as I exhale, I'm holding the knee with my left arm. I'm gonna twist around to my right, placing my right fingertips gently down, or you could hold a piece of furniture. Follow your breath in and try to sit up tall, and follow your breath out. Good, and again, breathing in and out. gently untwisting yourself. Let's straighten out your leg and bend the other leg. Same thing, you could cross it over, you could bring it in close, you could modify it however you need to. You're gonna inhale to sit up tall, exhale, twisting to the left. Look where it feels most easeful for your neck. And then as you inhale, sitting up tall, and as you exhale, try to relax through your jaw, through your shoulders. And again. All right, and then gently untwisting. Straightening the legs back out. Let's just flex and point the ankles a few times. All right, we're gonna come onto our hands and knees in a tabletop position. So if you want to, you can try leaning to one side, bending the knees, and coming onto hands and knees. You can always pad your knees. You can, if your wrists bother you in this position, you can take your weight back a little bit so that your wrists aren't as extended. We're just gonna cat and cow. So we're gonna inhale, chest forward, tail rises. Exhale and round. And repeat. And just notice what part of your spine is able to move the most. And if you do these a lot and you have a lot of mobility, why don't you try to move one vertebra at a time, moving the tail first. So tail up, and then rolling out the spine so the head comes up last. And then when you go to your rounding, tail under first, and then moving up the spine, head tucks under last, right? And you can try it like that. If these are new to you or you don't have a lot of range of motion, just do the best you can. Do whatever movement feels right to you. Okay, now from here we're going to come up onto our feet. So you can always go to your chair if you need more support, or your piece of furniture for getting up. Otherwise, we're going to use the bear get up. So I just tuck my toes under and push off the floor, walking hands back. Take your time as you stand all the way up. And when you get there, you can inhale to reach up. No rush at all. Exhale to bring the arms out to the sides and down. We'll do that a few times. So you're going to inhale, take your arms forward and up. And exhale out to the sides and down. Next time that the arms come down, you can hold on to something if you'd like. We're just going to rock on the feet a little bit. So we'll inhale, try to lift the heels, and exhale, lower the heels, maybe even rock back. So this would be holding something, but you can do it just balancing as well. After doing that a few times, just setting your feet down and standing in Tadasana or mountain pose. So you can let your eyes relax Just get your eyes softly focused. Let your arms hang. Good. And feel all 10 of your toes, the balls of your feet, the heels of your feet, through grounding yourself down at the same time as extending upward through the top of your head. Taking your breath in really wide and breathing out slowly. Good, and again, and out. All right, now we're going to take the arms out in front, like the forearms. So what I've got are the forearms like this, as though I'm holding almost like a platter here, okay? Yeah, and I'm going to inhale and try to bring those arms up. My palms are facing me. Good, and then exhale here. And then inhale. Now I'm going to open up the arms, stretching them back. Good. And then exhale, bring the arms down. Okay, so we'll inhale, platter arms. And then it's like you're reading an old-fashioned newspaper. They barely make them anymore. And then you're going to go up. Exhale. Inhale, open the arms. You don't have to go as high as I'm going, okay? And then exhale, out and down. Okay, again, inhale, platter, rising up. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, open. And exhale, arms down. One more time. Inhale, platter to newspaper and rise. Exhale, stay here. Inhale to open. Exhale, arms down. Good. And then inhale, let's roll the shoulders up. Exhale, take them down your back. And again, inhale, roll up. And exhale, take them down. All right, so now we'll use the chair in front of us. You could use any kind of piece of furniture, or like I mentioned, the deck railing might work. You might want to be able to see me from your position, unless you've done this a lot with me. Could be the seat of the chair. If you're using a chair, it could be the back of the chair. And we're going to do a sun salutation variation. Okay. So we're standing with our feet parallel here. And inhale to take the arms up. And exhale to hinge at your hips and fold, taking your hands to a surface like the chair or the railing. And then inhale to get really long through your spine, but your neck is relaxed. Exhale, we're going to take that left foot back and take the right foot underneath your chair, so you're in a lunge. Right? So if you were at a higher surface, it would just be less far, right? So you could be here. Inhale here, and exhale here. Good, inhale again. And as you exhale, we'll bring that back foot in just a little bit to stretch back to a downward facing dog with your hands on the chair or any surface. Knees can be bent or straight. See what feels better to you. Just modify it as you need to. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then as you inhale, bending your knees a little more so you can look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward. You might need more than one step. And get it all the way under the chair, and you might take your right leg further back. Very little weight on the hands. You're using your legs here. Inhale and exhale. And again, inhale. As you exhale, let's bring that back leg forward. For those of you that have done this a bunch, you might even lift it off the floor and hold for a moment and then step it forward. And inhale to extend your spine forward. exhale to sit like you're sitting in a chair behind you. And then to stand, press down through those feet. Inhale, you can take the arms up if you want. And exhale, slowly down. All right, we're gonna do one more like that. Inhale, taking arms up. Exhale, hinging at your hips to fold. Inhale, reaching chest forward. And this time we're just going to exhale, step back to your supported downward dog. So you're just stepping your feet back. You can bend your knees as much as you'd like. Stretch the hips back. For some of you, your head might come down between your arms. And relax your jaw, relax your neck, and keep breathing. And then when you're ready, inhale, bend your knees and look forward. And then exhale and step your right foot forward. If you want to, you could lift the left leg off the floor on the way or just step the other foot forward. When you get there, we'll take an inhale to reach your chest forward. Exhale, bend your knees like you're seated in a chair behind you. And then inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, arms out and down in Tadasana, or mountain pose. And then just notice how you feel. We're going to now stand with your feet parallel any distance apart. Okay, we're going to be doing chair pose or Utkatasana. First, we're going to be moving and then we'll try to hold. Okay, so here's the moving variation. We inhale, stand tall, and then exhale, bend the knees any amount. Just let your hands slide towards your knees. And then inhale, stand back up and roll your shoulders. Okay, and then exhale again, sit down any amount. It might be tiny, it might be big. And then inhale, rise, roll the shoulders. Good, let's do a few more. So you can decide how much of a bend your knees want. I'm just kind of getting a feel for it. Good. When you come up this next time, let's pause. Okay. And now we'll try to hold chair pose. Again, any depth, okay? So you're going to inhale here and exhale, bending the knees any amount. I'm going to show a very small one here. Okay. I'm going to keep your chest wide. Okay. Your arms could be here, just resting. They could be out in front, sure, as long as that doesn't make you tighten your shoulders. It could even be up. Okay, let's take 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. And stand. Good. We're going to just do a swing and a twist, letting the arms flop around. You can try to be really loose, like you've got, your arms are like wet noodles here. Just flopping around your body. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So this is where we're going to be standing up on something. If you don't have anything at all, you could just try to do it on the floor, okay? You also will need something to hold on to. So either a wall or a railing or a chair, okay? So what I'm gonna do, and so you could use a stack of books here too. I'm gonna start with my right foot on the block and my right hand on a support. Right away, I just have to get used to it, okay? So you're just trying to get used to it, feel it here through that standing leg. And you can slowly try to let the left leg, it's not gonna swing, we're not gonna swing it big, just like a little loose.
Now we're gonna do our pelvic lists, Lists. And to do those, both knees are going to stay straight. And this outer leg is not on the floor if I have a high enough support. And I'm going to be pressing down through my right leg to lift my outer hip up. So if you see my hips, you can hold the wall. I'm just trying to show it with my hands. I start out with my left hip lower than my right because it's hanging, right? Like this. And then I press down through my right leg and that left hip rises. And then I let it fall again. Okay, you don't have to do it with your breath. It's just strengthen this standing leg hip and help with pelvic movement. So you'll notice when I do this with people in person, I often find, or in a class, people will try to step back down. You're not stepping down ever. You're just lifting that outer hip and letting it drop, lifting it. So you don't touch the floor, okay? With that, even if I'm doing it on the floor, I'm not putting any weight down on that foot. Let's see that? Okay, so it's just dangling. Let's do a couple more. Hopefully you're feeling it already. I am. And it's really strong right here for me and into the side of my leg. Okay, good. And then let's come off of the block and just rest for a moment. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, so now your left foot will be on the block or your stack or your step. You can do these on stairs too. Your left hand with balance support, and just let that right leg hang and maybe let it dangle and swing a little bit. Good, it already feels a little better after doing all that work. And then bringing it back to center, so we're gonna do the same thing, right? So both legs stay straight, not stepping down, just pressing into that standing leg and lifting that outer hip up and then letting it drop. Up and then letting it drop. Up. And I'm trying not to lean in my chair so I'm not like this, right? So I like something higher, like a wall for this, but just depends on your balance. Keep breathing. You're trying to get this fatigued over here. Couple more. Good, and calm down. Stepping off of your block, just step side to side a little bit, bend the knees. Okay, now I'm going to show a few different ways to do this next one, at least two different ways, okay? The way that if you have a lot of mobility, or I shouldn't even say a lot because some of you will think you don't, but if you have a pretty good range of mobility, I'd like you to do this at the wall. We're going to be putting a foot up like this, okay? So some of you already know this, so you should go to your wall. Now, if that's like absolutely not, that's not happening, then you could use either, you'll want balance support on your side, like something to hold on to, because you could put your foot on the chair like this. If that seems too high, you could use something lower, like a little stool or something lower than the seat of a chair. All right, so you're gonna choose your own adventure. Okay, I'll show both ways. You're gonna stand in front of whatever you've chosen. Keep in mind, you're going to be standing there with only one foot on the floor, so you might need furniture on your side for balance support, right? Okay, so get everything that you need to do this safely so you feel safe. All right, I'm going to show the chair first. I don't know why I'm having trouble getting the right view today. So my foot, okay, there we go. So I'm going to show the wall first, I'm going to stand in front, I'll inhale to stand tall, and I'll exhale to bring my right leg up. Now, my right leg doesn't have to be as high as my hip, it could be way down here. My right leg doesn't have to be straight. It could be bent. My left leg, I want to be straight. We're going to try that, okay? So getting yourself into a position on a chair or a stool, it would look like this, right? Same thing, it could be bent if needed. Okay, and breathe. Just try to steady yourself. This is much harder than it looks, okay? And breathe, okay? Or maybe it doesn't, maybe you already knew it was hard. Okay, so inhale, stand tall, feel your standing leg. Try to straighten your standing leg. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Inhale, stand tall. This is like what we did on our backs with the strap, right? We were lying down and we had that strap around our foot or our hands here, right? Now, some of us can also try to twist, which is like a different position twisting triangle pose, okay? Trikonasana, but in a different orientation. So I'm gonna inhale, take my arms up, and exhale, I'm gonna twist to the right. My right arm could come out behind me like this, or it could come to my hip. Left hand on my right leg somewhere. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Good, one more, breathe in. And as you breathe out, untwist. Inhale to take your arms up. And then exhale, see if you can step yourself back down. Okay, just shift side to side a little bit. All right, we're gonna try that on the other side here. So again, you can use the chair, stool, whatever you've got, wall. Here we go. So I'm gonna inhale, stand tall, and exhale, take my left foot to the surface. Remember, the left leg might need to be a little bent or a lot. It might need to be a lot lower than I'm showing. All right, let's try to straighten the bottom leg, the right leg. Okay. Breathing, and relax your face, following your breath in, following your breath out. A couple more like that, just calming your nervous system if you can. When you would like to, inhale, arms up. Exhale, twisting to the left. You could take your left arm behind you or to your hip. Right hand could come across. Good. Breathing in, straightening that bottom leg, that right leg if you can. Breathing out and breathing in and out. One more. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, slowly untwisting. Okay. And inhale to take the arms up. And exhale, gently step down. Good. Let's take the feet a little bit wide, like a little wider than your shoulders. And just bend one knee and then the other. So just a little side to side. It can be as wide between the feet as feels good. You could also have your chair in front of you. It's going side to side. All right, back to the center. Let's wiggle those feet a little closer. And come into your Tadasana pose again. And let's let the eyes close. Let your shoulders relax. And feel your breath go in as you really reach up through the top of your head. And feel your breath go out. And if it feels okay to keep your eyes closed, you can keep them closed as you start to just shift your weight a little bit forward, a little bit back. You can always open your eyes if you prefer. So just, this is not exactly leaning tower, but a version of it. And then you could try to lean a little bit left, a little bit right. Notice what that's like. opposite direction. Just really small movements, noticing your nervous system response. And then back to the center, opening the eyes. Let's just shake it out a little bit. Shake out your arms, shake out your legs. Shake out your fingers and your hands and your wrists. Yeah, just move everything around. Notice if you got stiff during that at all. Take a sigh. And just do a little bit of wobble on the feet again. I'm going to come back in front of your, either whatever you used for your sun salutation. So the seat of your chair, back of chair, railing, furniture, wall, whatever you got, okay? I'm going to come in front of that, and I'm going to inhale to step your right foot close to it. If you have a chair, take it underneath the chair. Your left and right feet are like on 2 tracks or skis. They're not on a tightrope, okay? And inhale, and as you exhale, we're gonna hinge at the hips. So you might need to, let's all bend our right knee a lot actually, and take your hands to your support. Okay, here we go. Now we're in a yoga pose that we often do with a straight front leg. So some of you might want to straighten this front leg. It's Parsvottanasana, or you can keep it bent. Some of you that are more mobile might even want to go down to your forearms, okay? Some of you might want to keep the front knee quite bent. Just start to shift your weight to the front foot and then to the back foot, to the front foot and to the back foot. And as you do that, you might notice that one hip behind you, facing the ceiling, is getting higher, and then the other one's getting higher. So you're just going back and forth, back and forth. And then see if you can find the center space between those two. One more breath. Good, and now let's bend that front knee again. Inhale to extend your spine forward. Exhale to stand. And step the leg back. Inhale. Exhale, other leg forward. Okay, so your feet are maybe 3 feet front to back, and then separated hips distance left to right. Inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee. Hinge at the hips. Take your hands down. Inhale to either keep the knee bent or straighten the leg. And then exhale to fold. You can stay where you are or fold, and just begin to shift your weight between the front and back foot a few times. Notice how that feels. Again, not much weight on your hands here. And then try to find the center place and take a few breaths there. When you're ready to, bending that left knee again. Inhale as you extend your spine forward, and exhale to stand. Inhale, stepping that front leg back. Exhale. All right, we're gonna come back down to the floor. You can use your chair to get there, or you're gonna want your blanket, so just make sure you got your blanket and everything close by. Or you can walk your hands down. Bringing your knees down, and gently take yourself all the way down to the floor. Once you get down there, you can leave your knees bent, and let's take the feet wide
And let the inner knees lean against one another if you can. So this is called constructive rest pose. Just allows the back of the pelvis to be very wide, allows the inner thighs to relax. But it might take a moment to find that right position for you. And then as you're there, if you want to, you could take one hand to your belly and the other to your chest, as long as it's relaxing for your shoulders. Just let the elbows release to the floor. And let's do a little bit of breathing here. Can you relax your belly so that when you inhale, your belly might rise up toward your hand? And when you exhale, it just falls back. And just notice if this is challenging for you or if it's easy for you. Good. And now let's take your hands to the sides of your lower ribs. So where your rib cage meets your belly. And my elbows just come out to the side to do this. If that's uncomfortable, you could always cross your arms across your abdomen and then put hands on your ribs. Okay, now on our inhale, can you feel this area of your ribs expand outwardly? And then long exhale, you could either use Ujjayi breathing or you could blow out through pursed lips if you want. Or just use a natural breath if you don't know Ujjayi. And now just let your arms relax at your sides. And again, feel your breath come in and out, noticing where you feel your breath the most right now. Now you choose what's next for you. I'm going to give you a few options. One would be to draw your knees into your belly, one or both, and do some circles or rocking. Another choice would be to windshield wiper. And then the last choice here, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but the last choice I'll offer is a figure four stretch, where you cross one ankle over the other thigh and either press the knee away or you thread the needle, lifting that left foot off the floor, holding behind the left leg. Okay, so you choose either some variations of knees to chest, windshield wiper, or a figure four stretch. And if you're doing a one-sided thing, you could switch sides now. Or if you just want to change your movement or stretch, go for it. Notice if your mind is getting distracted. It's okay if it is, but just come back to your breathing and feeling yourself here. When you're ready to, you could let go and find your way to a resting pose. That might be legs over your chair. It might be flat on the floor or legs over a pillow. Just get whatever you need to be comfortable here. Might cover your eyes. You can take a big inhale whenever you get there and you're ready to, and then a sigh. So in Shavasana, we're practicing letting go of effort, of tension, of doing. Feel for noticing all the contact points with the floor. And then can you let go to gravity a little bit more? And soften around your eyes and around your jaw, your tongue, your throat, your ankles, inner thighs, hips, belly, hands and wrists. Chest and shoulders, arms, forehead, ears, back of head, top of head, whole body. Coming back to that intention you had for your yoga practice today. And noticing if it was effective or not. It's okay if it wasn't. You're just kind of noticing, oh, did I stick with that, or did I push myself too hard or too easy? Not to beat yourself up, okay? Just to reflect for a moment. If you want to, you can take a moment to just honor yourself for showing up today, whether it's on the recording or showing up live. Honoring your own good efforts here. You can either choose to stay here for a while, letting yourself release and relax further, where you can bring movement back whenever you're ready.